Mount Olive police officers are now out of the hospital after being injured in a crash. Thank you for sticking with us. I'm Dan Haggerty.
And I'm Lena Tillett. The officers were chasing a teenager who they say tried to drive off from a licensed checkpoint when the crash happened. WRAL's Keenan Willard is pressing the department for answers about whether this chase was justified.
It started right here at Country Club Road and Highway 55. Police say officers were running a checkpoint here when a car took off down the road that way, ending up in a crash in this field that sent 2 officers to the hospital. And today, department leaders say they're standing by the officers' decision to chase.
A battered truck towed from the scene of a collision. A Mount Olive Police Department unit taken away right behind it. This was the scene that sent 2 officers to the hospital over the weekend.
The officers were conducting a checkpoint.
Police say a teenage boy pulled up to a license checkpoint, telling officers he didn't have his license with him. He then took off down Country Club Road, and officers took off after him.
The officers did give chase and were involved in an accident, and luckily everybody has been released, and the officers have gone home, and they'll be recuperating from their injuries.
Police say the boy is being charged with fleeing arrest. It's the second serious crash after a police chase in eastern North Carolina in 8 days. On Mother's Day, Tarboro police chased an 18-year-old who fled from a license checkpoint. Darquavius Lancaster crashed into the home of Jeanette Drew, who died from her injuries. Tarboro police said the chase was justified and followed their chase policy. We asked Mount Olive police if officers involved in this weekend's crash followed their department's chase policy.
So far, as of right now, there's no appearance of any policy violation or anything like that.
The assistant police chief says the department does maintain a chase policy, and officers are trained to consider time of day and the amount of traffic on the road when considering whether to chase a suspect. He says state troopers are still investigating the chase and crash, and their department plans to do the same. Does a teenager fleeing from a license checkpoint justify a chase that ends in injury?
Ultimately, I would have to support my officers if they feel that they wanted to, or that the incident should be chased, then I agree with them 100%. As long as there was no policy violations or any laws broken, I back them 100%.
Keenan Willard, WRAL News, Wayne County.
Now, we did ask Mount Olive police for a copy of their chase policy. They told us one would be sent. We're still waiting to get that document.